Well, hello, my beautiful people. Now that we're back in the studio, I need you to pay attention to my music and let me know if we got echoes going on. So welcome to the Bullhorn Betty channel. I am Bullhorn Betty, and we are covering true crime.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause of sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
We were going to go on a field trip, but I woke up at like 8:30 this morning. I was behind. I thought I'd have all the time in the world to do what I needed to do, but I didn't because breakfast was going to end at 9 o'clock. So I had to rush downstairs. Usually I'm up at 6:30, 7:30. I figured we had time. We were going to do a field trip at the state capitol, the Florida state capitol, but when I realized the time, I knew I had documentation I needed to get done. And I had to rush back here and get Delilah. I hadn't seen Delilah in 8 days. I was going absolutely nuts. I do have Delilah. Delilah is here. I know we're going to have a lot of new people in this afternoon as we're talking about another issue. We're not going to be talking about Charlie Kirk this afternoon. We're going to be talking about the Dallas ICE shooting. And this is a person. Now, I want to know, is mom involved? Because right off the rip, I have an issue. Now, if you guys seen the goal is because Yada, which is the aunt to Katie Proudfoot, and she spoke very poorly of Katie. She reached out to me to have her on my show to talk about Katie Proudfoot and her family, because Katie Proudfoot was AR'd by her own mother and her mother's boyfriend when she was 5 years old. And so Yada said she didn't support it, but then when everything push came to shove, she didn't like the fact that I was not denouncing her family's part in it. I didn't look into her family, everybody else did, but she wanted to blame me. I have nothing to do with the basket case. I did not realize she had donated to my legal fund. I really don't want any of her money. I think she's a basket case and she's a piece of crap, and she supports baby artists. So she supports the R of children, predominantly 5-year-old girls, and give it a pass. And she doesn't like anybody blaming her family for how messed up her entire family is. Their entire family on Katie Proudfoot's side of the family is one hot mess express. Absolute hot mess express. So she took like, I think I asked somebody, I didn't know she even, because I don't pay attention to that. You know, I'm so busy. If those that want to support, please support. But it's my understanding she donated a long time ago. I want to be very clear to you guys. Very, very clear. To the people in the back, because some people sent me some conversations from other content creators. First of all, I've had over $30,000 worth of expenses in Tennessee. Okay, we barely raised $6,000 or $7,000 through this channel for my legal expenses. Everything in my legal fund is money I contributed. I contribute anywhere between $1,000 to $500 every single month out of my paycheck to my own legal fund. So if I want to dip into my legal fund, I will. Okay, it is my money. The money that was raised 6 months ago has been spent. I think we get $15 here, $20 there, here and there. I don't touch that money. That money goes straight into the account, and that's where it stays. So I don't want to hear anything about this legal fund. It is my money. You want to contribute, your contributions will go, but let's face it, you guys know I've pretty much picked up 80% of my legal expenses for the Sebastian Rogers case. There's no other way to explain how the heck I've been able to pay for the attorneys, because let's face it, we never even came close to the goal that I needed, which was $30,000. The $30,000 still had to come from somewhere. Okay, and so I'm going to be for a very long time replacing that money to myself, because it came out of my pocket. I do appreciate all the help in contributions to my legal expenses. I don't know if I could have done it without that $8,000 that was contributed by this channel. But let's make no mistake, nobody's really contributing to that account except a very few people right at this moment. So I don't really care about Yada taking the money. I want people that want to support the fund. I don't want anything from her. As a matter of fact, she bought me some dresses. She bought me a tool. I threw it all away. I want nothing to do with the lady. So now that I know that she actually put funds in my legal expense, she can have it back. I don't want them. I want nothing to do with that crazy basket case that chooses abuse. She allows her family to abuse people, and she wants everybody to speak highly of her garbage family. Her entire family is garbage, including Beth. They're all basket cases. Every last one of them. So good riddance. Yada, don't ever come back here. And if you gave me anything, take it back. You don't have to worry about the crap you gave me. I've thrown it away. It's gone. I want nothing to do with your crazy ass ever again. Go be a pain in the ass to somebody. I'm sorry I even gave you a platform, but that's okay. We're going to keep that hot mess express. I want to make sure everybody knows that you came to me and begged me to bring you on my show so you could have your 15 minutes of fame. And I was the most gracious and kind to you, and I've never done anything wrong to you, except you wanted me to go to bat for your family. And I refused to, because it would require me to dig into your family, and I didn't know what I was going to find. So in an effort to make everything, but no good deed. No good deed, right? So Yada, you will forever be a piece of shit that protected abusers for a family member of yours, not once, not twice, but at least 3 times. So, bye-bye, baby. Nobody's paying you any mind anymore. And enjoy the little bit of money you take back from me. If you want me to give you the $60, just call and get it back. That's all I got to say. But you know what's going to end up happening? My audience is going to make sure that that's refunded. Not only to you, but back to the account, because you're a piece of shit that gave that money over a year ago. That money's been spent. So take it back, shove it up your ass, and to all the other people that aren't so vindictive and such a bitch, thank you. Thank you for your kindness. I appreciate it. So that's kind of what I just found out just in the last hour. I was going to let it roll, but there's no point in it. It's my freaking birthday. I was on the road for my birthday. Yeah, we don't need our kind around here. So I wanted to go through some of my birthday gifts that I didn't get a chance. I wanted to say thanks to my neighbor. The flowers are beautiful. I see that maybe a few of them might have came off, or these were just the way they turned out, but it's just beautiful. I don't know how they kept so long because I was gone for 8 days. But beautiful flowers. Got the flowers. Just a little late, and then comes the real me too. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. What the hell is this? We got a big old fat card. Do you guys see how thick this thing is? It's like about, I don't know. It's about as thick as Delilah. What the hell's in here? We'll get started on the show in just a second. We had some housekeeping stuff. I'm not very. Oh, make your birthday great again. Little White House like official. OMG, it's a Donald Trump card. I'm gonna love it forever. Oh, thank you. I pray that everyone will give what they can to help fight Sumner County. Yeah, it's definitely Sumner County. Definitely Sumner County. We got, oh, what's this? What's this? I almost missed it. Happy birthday to you. Andra, I hope you have a great day. I wish I was there to celebrate with you, and I hope you get a kick out of the card, which you just saw. I got a kick out of the card. Yes, I appreciate it. And of course she gives me AAA batteries. And this is coming in just the nick of time because this bad boy right here, which is my mouse, it's dying. It's losing its battery, so I can always use batteries. And she knows my kryptonite gummy lifesavers. This is my kryptonite. I'm pretty sure I got Pete addicted to gummy lifesavers. I don't think Ice Baby. Well, I got my Florida Gator Alcatraz shirt on, and it says "Make Gators Great Again." And then what is this? So we got our kryptonite. I'm gonna be fat and happy. And we got a box, and this is. Let's see what this is. We got a new button. I don't care.
Don't care. Oh, I don't care. Hey, I don't care. I really don't care. And now an important message. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Oh, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
I want to see how many there are.
I don't care. Psst. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't
Got
care.
several of them.
I don't
That's
care.
the first one. We got more buttons. We got more buttons. Okay, who's next? Who's next? Let me get this. What did I do with my Uh-oh. I know I had scissors. I thought I had scissors. I could have sworn I put scissors in here. Oh, well, we'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. I don't know who this is from. Okay. Oh, I know who this is now. Oh my gosh! A new hat for Delilah! A Bullhorn Betty hat! Oh my god, this is awesome. Oh, I love it. Oh, you heard me. You got a new hat! You got a new hat! Let's try it on. Come. Come. Let's try it on. Come on. Quit looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm not crazy. Maybe slightly. Come on. Good crazy. Come on. Let's see you. Let's see you in your new hat. Come on. Up. Oh, come on. Let's look at you. I know. Don't slip off my butt. All right. Oops. I think we got to put this under your neck. Okay. Let's see how you look in this. She just loves me dressing her. She doesn't. I can tell she doesn't like it. But, oh, look at her. You are stunning. And it fits. Look. Let me put this up. Hold on. Let's get this. That's the baby. Oh, dear goodness. Let me get this up. Hold on. There she is. Can you see it? Let me take this off. Okay, there she is. Look at that. Her little Bullhorn Betty hat. Oh, dear goodness. That's too cute. Oh, dear baby. You're such a good little model. You're such a good little model. Oh. All right, you can go run around with your little hat. What, you don't like it? She likes it. She's giving me a scowling look because she's not outside and I'm making her wear her hat. She's going to her bed and she's laying down. There she goes. She just went to the bed and lay down. Oh, I love it. I know who that came from. We all know who that came from. Why isn't this thing working? Why? There we go. Put me back down. Put me back down to size. Put me back down to size. There we are. All right. What do I do with it? Up, and looks like I got a matching one. Oh my gosh. I love this. I love this. And if she's got these, look at that. They got the bling bling. You know me and the bling bling. I'm all about the bling bling. I love this. I absolutely love this. Now we going out in style, boo. We going out in style. So, just saying, not playing. Matches. I know. I matched my baby. She's still got her hat on. Oh, dear goodness. Oh, dear goodness. Okay. And last but not least, this was Frozen. And I knew who it was from because it's the only person that always tries to make me fat. And she does it religiously. It's Betty fan. And she buys me all the junk food my life can have. It's just her thing. She believes in fat and happy. Fat and happy. And I have to be honest with you. When I'm fat, I'm happy. So, she speaks to my heart. Aww, send a cake. I love this. I love it, love it, love it. So I just pulled the cake out. I don't know when I got home. I didn't get home until, I think, 3 or 4. But since I was opening everybody else's, I figured I'd open hers too. It's probably still frozen, so I won't be cutting into it. But might as well show everybody. Aw, and this is what it says. It says, happy birthday, Andra. Oh, this is from Sonia's packet. Make sure I didn't miss anything. It says, happy birthday, Andra. I hope this is the birthday, the best birthday ever. May God bless you, and with many more. Love, Sonia. Thank you so much. I love the hats. I love the matching hats. Me and my little baby. And look at this little case. Oh my gosh, for my birthday cake. Well, is B Betty here? B Betty, hopefully B Betty's here. I'd hate to open this and her not be here, but usually she's here. And this will probably be the one time she's not here. Just my luck. Oh, look! Oh! And there's a cake with a candle in it. I just got to stick it in and light it, and I can say happy birthday to myself. Oh my gosh, this is what I love about, oh, sorry, you guys can't see it. There you go. Aw, that's so much love. That's so much love. I love it. Absolutely love, love, love it. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Okay, so we've been covering the case of Charlie Kirk. And, you know, obviously we know that there is a left-wing ideology. This is not me saying it. This is our government saying it. This is the law enforcement saying it. This is... Sorry. I love this card. Holy smokes. Oh, I'm going to get a kick out of the card. Oh, my beautiful people, thank you for being here. I know I've been kind of scarce, but that's what happens when I'm on the move. And we were on the move 32 hours both ways. So I have a total of 64 hours of drive time. 64 hours of drive time in 8 days. It was a lot. It was a lot on me. I thought this was a change of tide, but it's not, because we have an entire organization that wants to destroy America and wants to destroy people. They want to destroy the law and order in this country, in my opinion. And maybe I shouldn't provide my opinion. Maybe I should be unbiased when it comes to politics. You know, that's what people want. But I say hell to the nah, because, you know, I give my opinions on everything else in true crime. Why would I forego my opinions on stuff like this? Guess what? When I heard that Dallas ICE was being shot up, I already knew it was a left-wing nut. I already knew it. Then come to find out, Mommy Dearest screwed up her kid. My question is why is Mommy Dearest not in prison, not in jail, not locked up? For the rhetoric she brought into her home, constantly screwing with her son's brain, indoctrinating him, brainwashing him, and sending him out to carry out this act. Why? Mom should be in prison right now. Mom should be locked up. That's just my opinion. But I digress. We're going to get some information here again. I'm more opinionated than most people when it comes to the stuff that I've been seeing. I don't care. If you don't like it, you can always switch off. We're still going to be talking about it. And there's still people that's going to still tune in. And it's unfortunate that the last few cases are so hyper-political, but we knew that this was not going to be it. We knew that Charlie Kirk was only the beginning of what is to come. Why? Because the left wants to see many of us dead. Okay? That's why they want to try to unmask our agents. It's why they shot Charlie Kirk. We hear Hillary Clinton on the news condemning Christianity as, you know, old rich white men and their religion is what she said, which basically means that the Democrat Party no longer believes in Christianity, which is a shocker because there's still a lot of the countrymen that still vote Democrat that go to church every single Sunday, praise God, and don't want to see people murdered over their speech. But, you know, again, we're dealing with a lot of liberals that sit there and call us commies while supporting the New York mayor, which is a self-described communist. It is literally the most hypocritical statements I've ever heard from the left. And that's exactly what Kamala Harris said. condemning Trump as being a communist, but hey, go vote for my friend, the New York mayor, whatever his name is, Zabami, whatever. I really don't care about him. I have no affiliation with it. So now we find out that ICE, that somebody, this young kid, that was warped by his own mother, doesn't shoot well. So it sounds like he got literally everybody but the people he was targeting out there at the ICE facility. And now Mommy Dearest, after completely screwing up her child, now has to deal with her child being dead. Okay? Poor mother. Not. I have no sympathy for this woman. She knew better. She continued the rhetoric even after knowing Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And she brought her own son into her nonsense. I don't know where the line is, but people, I'm going to ask my clergy people out there, pray for this family. That's what you guys do, okay? I'm a Christian. I'm not that type of Christian, okay? I'm just not. I'm sick of the violence in this country, and I'm sick of the people that are perpetuating the violence in this country. Do you guys understand that? I'm sick of the violence in this country, and I'm sick of the people perpetuating the violence in this country. We are going to have a lot more of this until our Democrat Party, okay, this is the mom and pop, not your hierarchy that I condemn with every breath I breathe. I'm talking about the moms and pops that are normal Joes that are on the Democrat Party. You need to stand up and start doing something. And it has to be more than going to Twitter and saying you're changing your party. You guys need to be condemning your politicians. You need to be blowing up their phones. You need to be blowing up their email addresses. You need to be telling Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, all these people that keep perpetuating this propaganda, and we keep seeing bullets flying in our direction. It is your responsibility to start condemning this stuff and holding your own damn politicians responsible and accountable. If this was on the other end of the spectrum, I would be doing the same. Look what I'm doing to Bill Lee and Senator Marsha Blackburn over Summer Wells and Sebastian Rogers. Term limit and treason. Yes. Oh, and that brings us to another point. It looks like James Comey is going to be indicted. Here, it appears like they're looking for his statute of limitations is going to run out. Sounds like he's going to be the first of many indictments because he lied to Congress. It's perjury. They're going to get him. I don't know what else they have him on, but that happened in 2020. They have a 5-year statute of limitations. The statutes of limitations are running out this month, so they've got to either poop or get off the pot. We've been pressuring Pam Bondi as much as we can pressure to get her off her butt to start making these prosecutions. But again, not before another deadly shooting with a nutbag perched on a roof. When is America going to get a clue? Our roofs are causing harm to our community. We need to start. I am from Canada, and doesn't your money say, "In God we trust"? Is that not to do with religion? You're absolutely right, Vanilla. We are a country built on, like, you can literally, all of our laws. I didn't realize that this is one of the major things that Charlie Kirk made me realize is our current civil laws are tracked back to the Bible. They're tracked back to the Bible. So, oh, thank you, Pete. That's the Pete. Pete will get it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. My addiction, my sugar addiction is going to be fulfilled. Between the cake and the gummies, I think we're going to have to check my pulse in the morning to see if I'm still kicking. Hey, Seth, it's nice to see you, love. I hope you're doing well. I'm literally, I know, it's horrible. It's horrible. What do you do? What do you do? So then, on the heels of all this, we find out that we have, but you know what? It didn't matter. Even before, guess what? And I guarantee this is what irritates me, is even before we knew the identity of this person. Raise your hand if you knew it was going to be a left-wing nut. Raise your hand if you knew that this was going to ultimately be a left-wing nut. I wanted to gauge my audience here. And you know what I feel, to be honest with you, you know what I feel so bad about, though? This is where my heart is that we have literally people on the Democrat Party that don't support this. Yet they go to the ballot box every single year and put these same people back into office. This is looking bad on those moms and pops, to the point that they have to leave the party because that's the only way they can protest their party. And my thing is if you want the Democrat Party to survive, because it doesn't look like it's surviving, you guys have got to start voting differently. You cannot have all of this hostility and people literally condemning Christianity, which is what our country was built upon 250 years ago. 250 years ago. Out of all the religions, ISIS is only scared of one. The world is only scared of one. They're not scared of Islam. They're not scared of Buddha. They're not scared of they're scared of Christianity. You know why they're terrified of Christianity? Because we serve a higher power. That means we're not swayed. We have morals. And those morals are given to us in the Bible. And so when things like bad things happen, we tend to pray and go into us and try to find guidance from within, from our higher power. That's what they don't understand, and that's what they're so fearful of. The Christianity belief is one that stands on its own, that is willing to be persecuted even in the eyes of man-made laws. You cannot sway a Christian person into believing in a false prophet. That's the reason why they always try to destroy the Christians. That's why. Islam is just a militant book. It is a military book disguised as religion. I truly believe that. I know that there are great Muslim people that would never consider hurting or harming a person, but even those sweet Muslims are unable to even tell on the radical ones because it's against their religion. So I'm sorry. If you're going to sit there and you're going to keep your mouth shut when people are prey, unfortunately you fall into that category as well. So we knew that this was going to be a left-wing nut. We found out that this person is JASHUA. And his mom was espousing all types of rhetoric in posts. So I know where the problem in this child's life came from. A liberal mom. Please, liberal moms. Abuse is abuse. Talking about the child's father is what we consider abuse here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Whenever you degrade somebody that a child does not have any control over, this is another form of abuse, in my opinion. I think the mom should be in jail well, her son's deceased, but I still think the mom should be in jail. The mom infected her son with hate. The victims, one detainee is dead, 2 more are in a critical condition, and she had a son that couldn't shoot worth a crap. Following the shooting of at a U.S. Immigration Customs Enforcement field office in Dallas. So he ended up shooting and killing the victims that he was trying to save, right? Theoretically. So he's a failure, just like his mom. Total and utter failure. Son, total and utter failure. Couldn't even get the aim right, mama. Couldn't even get the aim right. Filled your son up with hate and he couldn't even take out the target. Targeted violence. The FBI is investigating it. Do I have this on here? Yeah. Okay, perfect. Targeted violence. The FBI is investigating as an act of targeted violence. The shooter, identified by sources JASHUA JAHN, died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound after he fired indiscriminately at the ICE building from nearby rooftop. Okay, again, rooftop. I have a bit of an addiction for that. We all do. I was the dealer. I was Pete's dealer, and now she's addicted. Like, about as bad as me. Like, we make ourselves nauseous. We eat that many stupid lifesaver gummies. It's like by the time we're done, our stomach is floating in a sea of jelly. Floating in a sea of jelly. It is a good good morals versus evil, no morals. Amen. And that's what it's starting to show. Now, I keep saying, like every time Kamala or Hillary come out anymore, they're saying things that are opposite of what they've always been saying. And so now I'm starting to post in there. I'm like, well, they're coming out of the closet now. There's no denying it. There's literally no denying it at this point. Hillary just condemned Christianity. Hillary Clinton just went on a show and condemned Christianity. Any Christian Democrat should be running from the Democrat Party when your head leader is condemning your religion. Like, how stupid can I just can't. I can't. Let's not go there. Let's not insult. We want to inspire. We want to inspire people to leave or change their party, But they cannot have Pelosi and Schumer in office anymore. If you have Pelosi and Schumer in office, the rest of us are going to absolutely believe you want us dead. I want to repeat that. If you guys do not vote Nancy Pelosi and all these animals out of your party that have been gunning for us, literally, and now that they're doing this and failing to denounce this violence, and all of this violence is coming from their side, and they're still refusing to denounce it, as a matter of fact, doubling down on how horrible we are and how horrible ICE is for doing their job, executing our laws, and they deserve to lose their life. And meanwhile, Gavin Newsom's trying to unmask them so they can be targeted and executed. There's no other explanation for why they want to know who these people are. We see what kind of monsters work for the Democrat Party and what they are willing to do to be dictators, communists, and fascists. Remember, every single thing that they said the Republican Party is now, the proof is in the pudding. They are becoming what they say they despise. It doesn't make sense. So now we have another left-wing nutbag hurting people. Not only did he miss his target, he actually killed what he perceived as the victims. So targeted violence, the FBI is investigating it. Oh, we already read that. Message on casing. FBI Director Kash Patel posted an image of a bullet casing on social media with the words anti-ICE. I think it's coming from the same group of people because they're carving bullets. This seems to be a certain element that keeps carving these bullets. Are we going to find out that this kid is also messed up and with trans lovers and all this other stuff? Are we going to find out that this guy's another trans wacko? I mean, I'm just asking because it's been a theme here lately. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but these he's that want to be she's seem to be very violent. I don't know if you noticed that. And by the way, I don't care what you do with your body. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care what your pronouns are. I mean, I'm a female. I'm going to call you whatever your name says. But I don't kiss people's butts. I try to be as respectful as possible, as respectful as I can. As soon as you disrespect me, I'm telling you, it's over. The respect's out the window. But I don't like the violence, and I can clearly see that we got a problem with some medication. We got some problems. And I don't care what people want to call me. They can call me a bigot. They can call me whatever I've been called worse. Trust me, been called a lot worse. I don't care. Okay. My point of being, having to worry about other people's opinions of me, at this point in my career, I really don't care. What I can tell you is that we're seeing an uptick of some serious and significant violence from people that said that they don't want guns, they don't believe in guns, and now all of a sudden we're seeing them all having guns and going out and attacking. Now remember, there was a politician that said, go grab your arms. I believe it was Jasmine Crockett among two other ones that tells people to go grab your arms. This is war. So it looks like people are listening. Why aren't these people being arrested for inciting violence? Trantifa is out of control. I agree. I absolutely agree. So now we have, we're talking about who is Joshua. Let's watch this. You might have a commercial, so just bear with it.
Ever wondered about the science behind a knock? ABC Legal does more than knock on doors. We eliminate.
Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes. Welcome back to our breaking news coverage.
And I'm Casey Stiegel. Thank you for joining us across Fox Local and our other digital platforms as we continue to monitor this developing situation in Dallas County, a shooting at an ICE detention center.
So that shooter opened fire about 6:30 this morning, firing a rifle from the roof of a building near the Immigration and Customs Enforcement location. This is 35 at Empire Central in Dallas. The gunman fired rounds into an unmarked ICE vehicle that was transporting detainees.
2 ICE detainees were killed and a third was wounded. The numbers have been quite fluid as this has developed since this morning. The gunman, we can tell you, is dead. Officials say he took his own life, and sources have identified the shooter as 29-year-old Joshua Yance. The FBI says the suspect wrote anti-ICE messaging on bullets, and they are calling it a targeted attack.
But there are still a lot.
Was this boy living at home with mommy? Does anybody know if this boy was living at home with his disgusting mother? Because I have a funny feeling. Listen, mommies. I offend many people on my channel. When your children are 18 years old, they are grown. Cut the umbilical cord, throw them out of the nest. If they want to go to school or college, then of course, support them. Help them pay for it if you can. If not, that's what, whatever. If your child is not going to go to school and not going to be a productive member of society, throw them out of your home. Okay? Give them the big old fat boot. It is not your responsibility to be taking care of your children into adulthood. You are doing them a disservice. You either love your child or you want to destroy your child. Do you love your child or do you want to destroy your child? It is very, very interesting how people learn to fly when they're forced to learn to fly. The failure to launch, thank you. The failure to launch in this country is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if this kid was living at home with his mommy. I just know the fruit don't fall too far from the tree. I've already heard stuff about his mother. I've already heard posts that his mother's made. I do not like mommy, okay? And obviously, mommy doesn't know what she's doing. And quite frankly, I think mommy should be in jail. Mommy should be in jail. Crazy woman.
A lot of questions. How long the attack was planned, what motivated that suspect, so much to answer. But here's what we can tell you. We do know that law enforcement has arrived at multiple homes connected, they say, possibly to that shooter.
Yep, we've got a location in North Texas, also one in Oklahoma. One is in Durant, Oklahoma. That's about 20 minutes or so north of Denison. And that's where we find Fox 4's Stephen Dial, who is reporting live for us with the latest on the ground in Oklahoma. Hey, Stephen, what are you seeing there?
Casey, we just got here on the ground to Durant, Oklahoma, and behind me is just one police unit. We don't know how many units actually are down this road. The home that is tied to this investigation is further down that road, but we came here from Fairview, which is outside of McKinney, and at that location we saw someone who was believed to be family members arrive at the home and then go in. Now we know, and
I just want to know how mommy feels about ruining her son. You know, I'm sure she's very upset. I do not have a bleeding heart. This is self-inflicted. This is self-inflicted.
Shown from Sky 4 for some time that the FBI is on the ground there in Fairview, and here in Durant we have not seen many law enforcement officials yet, but that does not mean they could be down the road. We've only been here for about 20 minutes, and so we know that this home is tied to the gunman, but we don't know in what way. We don't know where the gunman came from before that deadly shooting that happened in Dallas earlier this morning, and so we don't know if this is just a part of the investigation as far as them searching known addresses or...
See, I think it's this. I'm sorry. I think it's the same people that were messing with Tyler. And I think they gave this guy a clear directive: do not be taken in alive. I'm telling you guys, there's something more going on here, and I'm never going to believe the government. I'm just not on this type of cases, because they're required to make us calm. They're required to not let us know of the threats, to take care of the threats so we don't have to know about them. That's the part of law enforcement from the feds that I don't like. You know, the feds are never transparent. They're more transparent now that cash is involved, but there's still limits to what he can share, even as a director of the FBI. I don't like Mom. There's a reason why I'm saying I don't like it. You don't hear me saying I don't like Dad. I haven't heard from any of the posts from Dad. I don't even know who Dad is. But I heard from posts that Mommy made. I heard posts Mommy made. Hillary responded to a question about her husband while in another country on stage. I don't know what he thinks. Should I channel him to find out? Channeling is witchcraft. I heard her myself. Wow. She's also an arrogant, smart-ass bee, Miss Hillary Clinton. And she's, you know what, there's been so many bodies around her and Bill Clinton. You know, when they didn't get their way, they just executed people.
If the shooter indeed possibly drove from Oklahoma, that has yet to be determined, and so right now we are waiting to see if more law enforcement will arrive here. You saw two officers get out of that vehicle right there. That is a county sheriff's vehicle. That's not a federal official. And so we're waiting to see if federal officials come. When we were actually in Fairview, Casey and Heather, when we were there were no law enforcement officials there. And then when we left, the FBI arrived, and I was able to capture some images of those family members walking into that Fairview home. They were kind of frantic, and we spoke to a neighbor off camera who said that family had multiple young adult sons, which adds up to the age of this gunman here in the incident that happened earlier this morning. And he also knew the family's last name, which matches up to the last name of the gunman. So we are waiting here in Durant, Oklahoma to try.
Great. She's got even more sons she screwed up. Great mothering. And I wanted to tell you guys on here with Queer Antifa stuff. Did you guys see the thing that went around? You know how they have LBGTQ2 plus whatever. Well, the LGB, the lesbian, gays, LBGT, no, it's LBG. So it's lesbians. I can't remember what the B is for, but you guys get it. They disconnected. Did you guys see LBT International? Why do I keep saying T? It's LBG. They disconnected. They severed. They divorced the T2Q plus whatever, and they did all of this stuff. They actually did a like a podcast or something that went around social media. It was in every single, it was from their international. So they're no longer supporting. They even said there's nothing wrong with being butch, is what they were saying. There's nothing wrong with being butch. Basically, we don't believe in the whole cutting your body apart and getting yourself pumped up with all these hormones. They absolutely do not believe in it. They know that there is a violent sector to that transgender population and all those weird populations. So the LBG community, LBG International, has completely divorced the other bi. Thank you. Bi. So lesbian, bi, and gay. That's it. They have an international organization, and they severed ties with the trans and Q2++ community. They've severed all ties with them. So I think that is, like, a lot of people aren't running that story. I'm going to have to find the video, and I'll show you guys the video. But, you know, people don't realize how huge that is. That is a full separation from a whole sector of, you know, what they were defined. They don't like the parades. They don't like people walking around like dogs. They feel like it's, you know, damaging their reputation, and they've severed all ties. I'm a trans man, and I have been very respectful here, and that's perfectly fine. It's not going to change anything I've said. Period. Just to let you know. So hopefully, you know, you respect the people. I just, again, not going to change my commentary. So if it's too much for you to handle, maybe this isn't the right place for you, you know. I'm not going to change my stance on this. Trans men and women are more violent if you're on the medication. What you're doing to your body, I find, is horribly wrong. And what happens when you change your mind? Like the shooter of those kids in the church. One of the reasons why he was struggling so much is because he made all these changes to be this trans guy, and he did not like who he became. I'm just saying it's not a divorce. They made it very clear it was. So I would have to say I do not agree with your position, and I will show you the video. But no, it is a divorce. They absolutely want nothing to do with you, and they said it in literally 40 different languages. 40 different languages. Like me, hate me, I don't know. Maybe you want to murder me. I'm unsure. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So it is a divorce. Anyways, getting on with this without the distractions. Again, if you don't like what I'm saying, you're more than welcome to block and leave. Won't hurt my feelings one bit, hun.
Try to see what or how important this location is behind us, as to if there is any evidence that can link to why this happened and how this happened, and if there were any planning ahead of time before this deadly shooting.
Well, Stephen, you talked about you talked to a neighbor there, and I know that's one of the things you do when you get to a scene is you talk to the neighbors. I guess a couple of questions. A, sort of describe this neighborhood. Looks like there's probably a lot of distance between the homes. And B, if you have had the opportunity to talk to any folks there, or if people are coming out of their houses to share information with you.
Right, so there's only about, from my...
You'll find out very, very quickly. I'm a very direct and just a straight up person. And sometimes it's abrasive, sometimes it's not. I welcome all nonviolent people, but this is a platform where we've tried very hard to put an end to violence, and you can imagine how frustrated I am. And not only that, but if you are going to be honest with yourself, you have to acknowledge what we're seeing before us, and there is a lot of violence coming from the left, and there has been a lot of violence coming from the medicated, in my opinion, transgender population, and that has got to come to a stop. It's not for me to decide what needs to be stopped in that sector. For those people that are identifying as transgender, it's your responsibility to start policing your own people. You know, that's just the way I look at it. And I think condemnation should be the first step. And so far, I haven't heard a whole lot of trans people stand up and condemn what we're seeing across this country. And until that happens, I don't know where my respect lies in all the silence.
view about 3 homes along this road. It's off of a dirt road off 75 the way we came, but the home is further back. If you were to look on Google Maps, it's a large property, and so we don't know what connection it is to the gunman.
It's a family member.
But we know this is one of those known addresses, but we don't know if...
I have a funny feeling it's probably a situation just like we had with Tyler Robinson, right? So Tyler Robinson, they ended up going into his apartment, which is probably location 1, and, you know, mommy and daddy's house, location 2. But what we're seeing here is that mommy is probably the reason why the son was so messed up. Again, she absolutely hated ICE. She thought that they were killing people. Kind of ironic, since her son is now officially a murderer of the very people that she said was being murdered, right? He ended up killing the victims. His alleged victims he ended up killing, which is, again, ironic.
Came from that address today or sometime in the planning stages of this shooting. So in this area, I mean, we're next to a person, but not much milling about. Now in that Fairview location, that was a more residential type area, a neighborhood, and so there were homes.
They said 2 of the detainees, one of them is dead. I heard it was 3 victims. I don't know if that included the shooter, Ryan, but there was 3 victims. One of the detainees, that means one of the illegal immigrants or alleged illegal immigrants, however you'd like that, you know, stated, was killed. It doesn't sound like any actual ICE agents were killed. It sounds like all the whoever was shooting either mistaken the detainees as ICE agents, which is a little hard, just in my opinion, or he was just a lousy shot. So I have no earthly idea which one it is. I have a funny feeling we're going to find out he was just a lousy shot. People don't realize how hard it is to take, even with a long gun, how hard it is to take a shot from a rooftop and be accurate. That's why we thought Tyler Robinson was like a paid operative to execute Charlie. Like his marksmanship was so superior compared to this guy. But I still feel like whatever's going on behind the scenes in Discord that's inspiring these kids, these young, under 30-somethings, to carry these things out, I truly believe it's coming from the same organization, because all of these bullets, the one thing is these bullets are engraved. That's pretty odd. Like, prior to this era of our country, we had very little bullet engravings. But now all the bullets are being engraved, and that's just telling me that they want to make sure that it is known it's their organization doing it, okay? It just seems like it's the same MO. So I feel like these shootings are truly connected. You know, Mangione, Robinson, as well as this one. These all have engraved bullets. I don't know if there was any engraved bullets with Matthew Crooks, the one that was the one that tried to assassinate Trump at Butler, Pennsylvania. I couldn't remember if his bullets were engraved or not, or if those were ever made public one way or another. I just don't recall that being an element in that particular situation. But I found it awfully odd that he was able to do what he was able to do with all those law enforcement. That tells me that there was some other underhanded stuff that people knew in our government. And I'm still going to believe it. He was a lousy shot. That's the only reason why Trump survived. But obviously Tyler Robinson wasn't. But Tyler Robinson was not killed. He was taken in alive. And so was Mangione. So those 2 people would have the most information Thomas Crooks, thank you, in my opinion, to help them. But it sounds to me like they're starting to tell their people, don't be taken alive. Like, why would this kid, unalive himself? I don't know. I feel like they're not supposed to live. And I think the ones that do live or just because they're too scared to do themselves in. I think Mangione was that way, and so was Tyler. They wanted to, but I just don't think they could. Norman Bates? Yeah. I don't know. Something. In my opinion, just something. Put down the gummies. I'm not eating gummies. I'm eating dinner. And actually, it was a French fry I'm eating. When I've been rushed and I've been on the road for 36 hours, I eat when I eat. If you guys don't want to watch me eat, you're more than welcome to move on. You'll find out I'm I have very low tolerance for people. Whether they want to come, they can come. They want to talk, they can talk. If they choose not to, or they can't stand what I'm doing, be an adult and move on. This is an adult show. I expect everybody to adult. Again, I'm Bullhorn Betty. I'm pretty abrasive when I talk about politics because I'm sick and tired of the violence, and I'm sick and tired of being a target. And nobody will understand what it was walking in our shoes, and I'm going to say our shoes because a lot of us have been with Donald J. Trump since he came down the escalators, much like myself. We've been assaulted, we've been beaten, we've had stuff thrown at us, and all we wanted was a better country because we didn't trust our government. We needed somebody that was not government, that was not establishment, to get in here, and we could not find anybody that could remotely win except Donald Trump. He had the money. He did not need people donating to his cause or forcing him to do things. That's what happens. All these political people, their donors are who control them. And this was one person that didn't take a penny from those establishment donors. He was not bought, and he wants the best for this country. That's why I voted for him, because I don't trust my government, and nobody out there is non-establishment like Donald J. Trump. Like, he's got a freaking multi-billion-dollar company. Like, he doesn't need America. America needs him. It's just trying to get America to realize it. But I think he's making strong, because first of all, he wants the crime to stop. And the most people that are plagued with crime are the black and brown communities. So if somebody's saying that he's racist, it seems like he would want to increase the violence in those areas if he was so racist. Well, he's not. He thinks everybody should be, whether you have money or no money, you should be able to live in safety. What the hell's wrong with that? That sounds pretty darn good to me, because I don't know about you. I may have been born with my parents having a little bit of money, but when I got kicked out of the nest, I was broke. Okay? I had to live in poor areas. You know, did that mean that I didn't deserve safety? I didn't deserve the comfort of walking down my street to go to the store, maybe because I didn't have a car. I've had a car, so that's not the point I'm making, but other people don't. And they shouldn't have to worry about being robbed, SA'd, or assaulted, or harassed. How is that a racist president for wanting to give that to predominantly black and brown communities? Not only that, he just, I think it was $500 million was just donated to, I believe, specifically historically black colleges. He just did release that as well. And he's trying to get money coming in from these other countries so we can stop paying taxes, or pay as low taxes as possible, because other countries are supporting America instead of the American people. You know? And yeah, we have problems. Yeah, we don't like some things. I can tell you one of the biggest things, and I don't have a problem. I have trans friends myself. If you don't believe me, look at MAGA Queen. MAGA Queen is a trans. Work with her on multiple events. She dresses up, she puts a wig on, she looks like a Disney princess, and she comes through our events. So don't think that I have a problem. I have a problem with violence. And if violence is coming from a certain sector, I've got a problem with it. But I love all people. What you choose to do with your life is the choices you choose to make. I make choices that are going to enhance my life, to make my life better. I would never put my foot on the neck of somebody trying to do the same for themselves. But there has to be tough conversations and very uncomfortable conversations for us to get to the next step. Because you have to understand, especially the trans community, what we as average Joes are seeing in our programming, that are seeing on the news. And I've got to say, that scares the shit out of a lot of us. As if it was the other way around for you. I'm sure if you had some crazy lunatic that hated trans people and trans bash and started shooting you guys up, I'm pretty sure you'd be pretty scared of people that look like me if it was coming from people like me. Okay? So please don't misunderstand the community abroad. When you start seeing people getting gunned down, you start getting a little scared. And then you start avoiding people like the plague. So if you don't want that to be your reputation, then there has to be some self-policing. There has to be some public condemnation from the highest sectors. Without fail. Without fail. I will never change my mind about it.
Very close to the home that the FBI is at now. And one of the neighbors was coming out to just check his mail and bring in his trash cans, and he didn't even know what was happening. And of course, when we were there, no law enforcement was there, and so we were kind of telling him the story as it was happening. Here in Durant, Oklahoma, we haven't seen any neighbors or people who live by milling about. Again, this is off of a dirt road, and then we're at some distance from the actual location that a county sheriff's deputy is blocking off. So still.
Parents, please do me a favor. No matter how you feel about things, do not ever instill hate in your children. Do not ever instill hate in your children. When you instill the hate in your child, or you condone the hate infiltrating your child, you don't know how that hate is going to manifest. Because all children are different. All children have different emotional levels. All children have different, and this is an adult kid. But this to me is, and again, we learned with Tyler Robinson, it only takes a year to completely brainwash somebody to get them to act. So that's scary in and of itself. My first request is for people, start limiting, if you're a gamer, start limiting your time on I don't know how it happens, okay? Let's be honest. I've never been brainwashed. I don't know how it happens. But they're saying that something has to do in this gaming community and Discord. We're starting to see that relevance. So since I don't know how it happens, my thing is going to tell everybody, just start limiting your time on those platforms, because God knows you might be playing games and it's brainwashing you. I don't know how. You know? In all fairness, I don't know how brainwashing works. I have to think it's repetition. How about if there's something in these games that are doing some type of counter? I don't know. Now we're getting like way into conspiracy theories at this point. Well, hello, Pussy Willow Pendercat. I hope you're doing well tonight. Now we're starting to get way into conspiracy theories. But hey, you know what? It's getting hard not to, what's the best word for it? Not to speculate these things, right? Subliminal messaging, there it is. It could, I don't know what's going on. All we know is that these are the characters of these people we're finding out. And it shows, is there medication involved? I think that needs to be a question asked, because like in Tyler Robinson, even though he had this transitioning lover, it didn't sound like he was specifically trying to transition, but his boyfriend was. And it sounds like all the hate from everything I'm hearing was really inspired by the boyfriend, Lance Twiggs. And I think that, just in my opinion, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know if this is 100%. It's just an opinion. It's speculative at best. But it sounds like it was the boyfriend that indoctrinated Tyler, because it sounded like, from everything I was hearing from Lance's family, is that they had nothing to do with him because he was becoming too violent. He was being too. I have to assume both of the families are highly religious. I think that there's a Mormon population out there, and I have to think that both the boys were going against their respective religions, and the families, denounced them. I don't know if that's the case, but I can't imagine how that had to feel. A lot of our adult problems come from childhood trauma. Now, I understand, just like me, I don't believe, just for me and myself, I believe in the Bible, and so I'm a heterosexual female, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm perfectly fine being heterosexual, just like a gay person's perfectly fine being gay. But there's, I don't understand a lot of the stuff, but what I do understand is that there's violence. And there's no reason for being violent. You don't have to worry about whether Bullhorn Betty approves of your relationship. I'm not going to you to ask you if you approve of mine, okay? So you see, it's the same. Who cares what I think? Who cares what Charlie Kirk thinks? Who cares what the President of the United States thinks about the situation? Who cares? If you're happy in your life, do you. That's the beauty of America. We're all entitled to our opinions, whether you like them or not. We're all, even the most grotesque, right? We use like the KKK as an example, or the Black Panthers as an example. Some of the stuff that they have coming out of their mouth, in my opinion, on both sides, is disgusting. But they're entitled to have those disgusting opinions, and we're entitled to ignore them. And my suggestion would be for all the young folks out there, ignore it, okay? If you think it's hateful, stay away from it. If you're ready to pick up a gun and blow somebody's head off because you don't like the way they're thinking, that's a you problem, not a them problem, okay? That's a you problem, not a them problem. So understand that. Understand that. So we have this young kid. Now he's deceased. We've got one dead, 2 in critical condition. I don't know if it sounded like one detainee was
Prayer.
Good morning, I'm Savannah Sellers, and we're coming on the air with breaking news. Officials are set to update on this morning's deadly shooting at an ICE facility in Dallas. It comes after a shooter opened fire near that facility, killing 2 people, injuring a third, and all of those victims are ICE detainees, according to an ICE spokesperson. We have NBC's Jay Gray. He is in Dallas.
I mean, how horrible is that? You're going there to... Sorry, guys. Big bite. Well, thank you, Big H. I like you, too. Okay. How horrible would that be? You're going there in protest of the detainees, and the only people you kill to protest them is them? That's just... You guys know what I'm about to say. That's just nuts. That's an idiot. And then he kills himself. What an idiot. Mommy must be proud.
On the ground. Jay, what's the latest that you're hearing here as we await this press conference?
Yes, Savannah, still multiple federal agencies on the ground, as well as Dallas police. As you talk about, we're waiting to hear not only from the chief of police, but the mayor of Dallas, just a few short steps away. They're expected to walk to the podium at any point. We have just heard, in fact, I think they're there now. Let's listen in.
Prayer. And that prayer changes things. And so I'm going to ask everyone, please join me in praying for the families of the folks who lost their lives today.
Well, I'm very, very thankful that we have a mayor that actually talks about prayer instead of dogging prayer.
Pray for the speedy recovery for those who are hurt and were injured in what happened today. But maybe even more to the point, we're a country and a city that needs prayer. Amen. So I'm going to ask you all to join me also in praying for this city, that we can come together at a time like this.
Yes, sir.
And that we can be there for one another the way we always have in times like this, to support one another, help us all get through this very difficult time, not just in our city, but in our country. And that's why I'd ask you to pray for our nation. There's a lot going on right now in our country. A lot of it's confusing. It's a scary time. I've got children. I've got 3 young children. And I'm here to tell you that it is challenging to explain to them what's going on in our country right now. But I said before, and I'll say it again, I believe in the power of prayer to change things. And it can change the hearts of people. It can change this country. It can change this city. So please pray for everyone who's affected by today's tragedy. I also want to say thank you to the Dallas Police Department, and say thank you to the Dallas Sheriff's Department, Dallas County Sheriff's Department, Texas Department of Public Safety, and all of our various federal law enforcement partners who acted so quickly today to make sure that today's tragedy wasn't worse than what it was. So on behalf of the city of Dallas, I want to say thank you to all of you. And you're going to hear from some of those folks later, but I want to let you know that we appreciate what you all do, not just today, but every day, to help keep us all safe. And lastly, and this is really important, I would ask all of the city of Dallas residents who can hear me right now, let's be patient, let's remain calm, and let's let our law enforcement partners, our police department, do their job.
I agree with that. I think we do need to let police do their job. The young man is dead. Again, just a horrific loss of life. And that child, know not what he has done. We just came from Charlie Kirk's memorial. How many more memorials do we need going on in this country because people can't stand other people's opinion? If I don't like you, who cares? In the grand scheme of things, who gives a shit? Because let's face it, if you don't like me, do you think I lose any sleep over it? I could care less. Who are you? Who are you? In the grand scheme of the world, a big old fat nobody just like me. Who cares what people think about your lifestyle or you or whatever? Who cares? Those people don't matter. It's so funny because people always talk, for an example, people always talk about, look at the numbers going down. Look at you're not getting us. So we have 117 people. This is not a most popular topic in the world. So we have lower numbers than normal cases. But our true crime cases, we can get, a few hundred to a few thousand in a room at a night, depending on how important that case is to the public. And people are always, worried about the numbers. Guys, the people that are with me, okay? The people that come and go, that are fair weather, it's like, oh, you said this, I gotta go, a yada. Those people don't matter to me. It's my army that come here every single day and show up rain or shine, that show up here to do the work that needs to be done, not just around here, but all over this country, and inspire people from other areas like the UK, London, Ireland. We got people from Australia and Africa. There's a lot of things going on in their backyard, and this is where they come to escape. So it's, I don't expect everybody to like me. I don't expect everybody. All the people that I, associate with have large platforms, much larger than Bullhorn Betty. I'm perfectly fine with that. You know why? Because the people that come here to support are always going to be the same people that support. Those haters out there that come over here and become trolls or whatever, those people have never mattered. They've never mattered. They're not ones that support this channel. This channel is alive because of the people that support this channel. People that want to make a difference in this country. And it's all about coming together and getting those messages. I have people that support me on the Democrats as well as the Republicans. I have a lot more Republican support, I will be honest with you. But people work with me on both sides of the aisle. And it's because when we have those joint efforts and those joint benefits, like both sides want to accomplish the same thing, it's a beautiful thing. So although I always will criticize the hierarchy of the Democrat Party, because I truly believe that's where the problem is, that's the head of the snake. It's not the mom and pops that live next door to me, right? It's the people that are in Washington that are causing all these problems, not just for you, but for me, for everybody. I don't trust the government. You'll find out that I have an R next to my name. That doesn't change anything. I don't trust the government. So every time I'm recommending people, it's usually the underdog. It's usually anti-establishment people, because I believe that's our bread and butter. That's our bread and butter. We need to get statesmen. It doesn't matter what is next to their name. It just matters where their moral compass is and who they are as a person. That's who we need running this country. You can see, look at RFK. We reached across the aisle and now we have Maha. Right? Because it's about the best. It's about the best. It's not just about the D or the R. I could care less. I could care less what is next to my name, as long as the people that I'm voting for have the same moral compass I do, that want better. And at the end of the day, my biggest thing is I want government to be government. I want them to do what we need for infrastructure and law enforcement and education. Anything over and above that is stealing from the American people. It is up to the American people. If you want a park, you go get a park. If you want this, you go get that. But this idea that the government has to supply things for families to do on the weekend is ludicrous. Our government is here for our infrastructure and our safety, our defense, and that's it. Right? And educating our children, which they've done a lousy job at it. And they should be fired. Lousy job. An entire generation lost. An entire generation lost. An entire generation lost. I'm very thankful my sister didn't turn out crazy. You know, she doesn't act like me. She doesn't vote like me. But we love each other, and she's not a crazy left-wing lunatic. You know, we have conversations. We talk about politics. We don't get frustrated. It's a great thing. That's the way life used to be, right? We used to have public discourse and conversations about things so we could find a happy medium and a path forward. Now it's one way or the highway, but here it is for me. It's now the highway for me. It's you know, one or the other, because now we've got guns and bullets coming our way, and that's when Bullhorn Betty says playtime's over. Okay, that's when Bullhorn Betty puts the patty cakes away. Okay, that's when Bullhorn Betty starts getting into action and starts doing things and moving her position forward, because clearly something has to be done. People that I know have been shot at. There's a person that I've met that I loved to death, that I absolutely cared about their message, that was the beacon of this movement that I am personally involved in, and I watched him have his life taken from him for believing in Christ and spreading the message. That is not okay with Bullhorn Betty. And however I've got to get to stop that, I'm going to help in that effort, and I hope others help from across the aisle. I hope other people, especially in the transgender community, start raising their voice and standing up and saying we condemn any acts of violence, because those voices, that speech was afforded to the transgender community as well. And if it can happen to us, it can happen to you. And it seems like there is a lot of violence. Now, is this going to be turned out to be it? I don't know. I really don't know. But you know, I'm waiting for that shoe to drop, right? In all fairness, thank you, Christopher. In all fairness, I'm waiting for that shoe to drop. I'm waiting for us to find out that there is transgender or some type of, you know, situation like that. But this is ice, not, I don't know. I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. I feel like this has been going on for so long, for literally the last several years, where we're just being eradicated or genocide by the trans community, and it's just starting to get very uncomfortable for me. And I don't think people understand what it's like to be on this side of the aisle, and they're sitting there trying to condemn or call people bigots or whatever they may be, and do whatever you need to do. Whatever makes you feel good at night, please do it. But at the end of the day, I'm truly in fear for the safety and well-being of Republicans, conservative Republicans, conservative and religious Republicans. I'm concerned about their well-being. And let me tell you something. It's when it comes to an eat or be eaten situation, you're going to find out very quickly your emotions do absolutely squat for you. Absolutely squat. Karen's always bringing out the worst in my opinion. Here's what I'm going to say about Candace Owens. I think she's been highly energized and highly wrong in her assessments. Even with Tyler, she failed to, she should know this. She should have a plug on the peeps, right? And it just takes a little bit digging, and this is what pisses me off. Because she's talking about how this messaging, whatever went through. Now, whether it was a staged messaging, between Lance and Tyler Robinson, the assassin of Charlie Kirk. What was it said? I don't know if the messages were there, but she said, who says this? Who says vehicle? Who says this way? But she forgot to apply the most important element, and that's the engineer mind. When you apply the engineer mindset to that conversation, it makes perfect sense to an engineer's mind. And the engineer's mind is much different. So you have multiple different personalities, okay? From Aunt Millie to the engineer. The engineer is by far the most complex and distorted brain, okay? Because they're ultra smart. And so their brain just works a little bit different than the rest of the people. They look at things differently than the rest of the people. So you're going to have different dialect. You're going to have different speech pattern. You're going to have them wording things differently. They just think differently. And I think if you apply that engineer aspect to that conversation, in my opinion, it makes perfect sense. I don't think that there's anything. Now I didn't say that I believe it. I still believe that he's smart enough to try to set up this conversation to keep his boyfriend out of the hot seat. It's not well taken for me. I truly believe Lance Twiggs is involved with this somehow. Either an accessory before the fact or an accessory after the fact, or, actual planning and helping him carry it out. I don't know which, but I don't believe that Lance was not involved at all. I believe the hate came from Lance. I believe that the militant and stuff like that came from Lance. I believe Lance is the one that brought these weird and strange transgender militia people into Tyler's world. Now, I don't have anything to support that because it's my opinion. It's based off the information we've got from law enforcement, but that's not what it says. That's my opinion on it. That's how I'm analyzing what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, and I do kind of believe that Lance had more of an involved hand in this, He seemed like the most violent out of the two. It's just very difficult. It almost seemed like that Lance should have been the one that carried this out as opposed to Tyler. From everything that I've seen and heard from Lance's family. Lance's family is speaking up. They did not like Lance. Apparently, they've washed their hands of Lance. Lance is not a good dude. Or a good woman. Either or, So there's some problems there, but we'll dive into those a little bit. We're going to be getting back on regular scheduled true crime shows. I have already, I'm getting ready to roll out our new political channel. Again, I'm going to be picking up maybe 1 or 2 stories a week. We're going to probably start out with 1 a week. See how that does, and you know, see how much goes into, because it's going to be more of a topic item. So if there's something going on in this, like say for example, we're not going to start off with the first show being on trans or the prescriptions transgenders use for puberty blockers and stuff like that, or anything that goes on. But that would be an example of one of the detailed discussion topics that we could have, where we are going through the medication, where we are identifying any side effects or potential stuff like that. So it is, it's going to be a little different, but I also want to caution, because if I expect the Democrat side, even the trans community, to stand up and condemn these violent acts, when it, you know, this is left-wing ideology, but we also have something that we're noticing for the last several years, especially with these mass school events. They've been coming from, so you got to police your side, and so do we. So we have to also say we're not going to allow people to be hateful to one another, which we've been pretty strong on that on this channel. We have strong opinions, and you're allowed to have strong opinions. What you're not allowed to do on this channel is treat the people like crap. Now, you can debate the issues, and that's where we're always going to be, is debating the issues, because some of the reasons why I say outlandish stuff sometimes is to provoke responses, to provoke the conversation. And that's kind of what I do. But at the same sense, we also have to learn to be human again, and learn that we're all different, learn that we're all unique, learn that we are not going to think the same, learn that there's just terrible human beings on both sides of the aisle that are going to always do terrible things. But it is our responsibility to always, always, always call it out. Now, let's be honest. If this was a neo-Nazi, if this was somebody on the right, and they were radical right, we would be condemning it. We would be condemning it with every bit of ourselves, with every single bit of our words, our body, our soul. We would be condemning it. And it's very hurtful to keep seeing these people getting executed, and nobody on the left is truly condemning the violence or turning down the rhetoric. If this rhetoric does not get turned down, I'm going to tell you, this side's going to start turning it up. If this is what everybody wants, they want this big old powwow, then they're going to get it. And I'll tell you right now, when it comes knocking, you will not want it. I can tell you, all the people that are churning and burning for this to start happening, for us to, let's talk about it, right? The W word. Everybody's ready for it until it comes knocking for your doors. Until you start seeing your people lose their life. Then it's like, oh my gosh, what have we done? Right? But what are you doing right now to stop it? All violence must be condemned. All of it. And if you see it coming from your side, by God, stand up and speak up. Have a backbone and have a pair of balls. Because you know damn well, if I see something, I am saying something. I have never been known to be quiet, okay? I'm the biggest loudmouth since I was 2 years old, okay? Things have not changed even at 46. So please, let's end the violence. I don't care if you guys don't like my positions on things. It's okay. It's cool, okay? It's cool. But one thing we don't have to do, we don't have to like each other, right? And we don't have to agree with each other. But we do have to love each other as human beings. There's no place to go, folks. We're all in this world together, okay? It goes around, okay? There's only so many places for all of us to go. So guess what? We're going to have to figure out how to get along. So you guys figure it out. please, by all means, send it to bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. We do have a flyer that has come in for the Sebastian Rogers event. We're doing Sebastian Rogers event in Sumner County, Tennessee, on between February 23rd. Well, I'll just tell you, I want you guys there February 26th, those that can come. If you guys can come for the week, come for the week. I'll be out in front for the week. If you can only be there on the 26th, the 25th to the 26th, plan for that. You don't have to be there the whole week. What I do need is I need 100 bodies standing outside of Sumner County on February 26, 2026. That's what I need. So I don't care how we accomplish that, but I need at least 100 bodies outside of Sumner County lining up and down the roads. I need you guys there on the 26th. We have Sebastian's Army. There should be no reason with all this time that we cannot get 100 bodies out there in Sumner County, right? This is a love fest. As many of you guys know, we are not violent. We don't go in and burn cities down. We wave people, we give people, and I'm going to be saying a lot, folks, so you guys don't have to. All I want you to do is smile, wave, have signs that says honk for Sebastian, Sebastian Rogers. We haven't forgot you. Love Fest. I want you guys to be Love Fest. Now, am I going to be a Love Fest? I tone it down there. You will not hear me out in public dropping cuss words or F-bombs. Occasionally one slips out here and there when I'm getting riled up. But for the most part, it's basically laying down our entire case. And I do that live streaming on my channel. So even if you can't be there, you will be able to see me because that's how I speak, right? I know that when I get there, people are going to be tuning in from the community. You know how I know? Because they're going to be driving by this massive amount of people and they're going to want to know who in the world, what's going on. So they're going to go to social media to find out what's going on in their community, and we're going to find out that it is this Sebastian's Army has showed up to represent Sebastian in that community. Now, me and Sheriff Snuggle Struggles, I'm gonna be respectful, but he gonna hear me. He may have been able to run from Seth, but see, I'm gonna be there all week, and I'm a lot louder than Seth. I put my bullhorn for 5 solid minutes every hour, at the top of the hour, every single hour, 8 hours to 9 hours a day. 8 hours to 9 hours a day. I go nowhere. I'm a one-man show. If people want to come and hang out with me and hold signs, I am always about having, community and testifying and being out there, amongst each other. But do not ever mistake, when I have a job to do, I go out and execute my job very, very well. And I will tell you, just to Sumner County Sheriff's Department, I would suggest you not put a hand on me, okay? Probably you got away with it the first time. I don't think you're going to get away with it the second time. The second time is when we start bringing in the big lawyers. So you can monkey F around if you want to, but as you guys can clearly see there in Tennessee, I'm not playing with you anymore. So that's where we go. And when I'm there, I'm going to let you guys know I'm there. Mr. Snuggle Struggles, I'm going to make sure you know you can't touch me. I'm going to make sure the whole world knows what you did to me. And I will make sure the whole world knows what you did to Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I.e., not lift a finger to help. But you sure have helped your friends, Chris and Katie Proudfoot, that helped bring in, by family, by proxy, lots of money into your community. And we will be out there making sure your whole community knows. And I hope your books are in order. I hope your accounting books are in order, because we will get that stuff real quick. And if there's mismanagement of any type of funds within your county, I will sniff them out like a heart attack. Sniff them out. And then we'll go into campaigning in your community, showing how lousy you are at your job. That's kind of how I roll, right? Completely diplomat, not going in there for any other things than to make you look like shit, because you deserve to look like shit. Unless you want to get off your butt and actually go search for Sebastian, then I guess we could put a hold on the February trip, but I don't think they'll do that. They're too busy sucking the knob. I wonder if they're all swingers, I wonder if Mr. Snuggle Struggles, the Proudfoots, maybe that's what the big tight thing is. Why they're so tight. don't know. We heard about this swinging thing. I didn't know if they were like on a swing. Did they go to a park? Did they go to a park or something? I didn't know because, see, the thing is, we know Christopher Proudfoot likes to wear granny panties, right? They have, like, Yeda belongs to them. Oh, my God. Right? So we know their entire family's messed up. We heard through the grapevine. It was completely rumor that I never picked up on. But, hey, why not? It might be true. You never know. We heard that they like to swing. So I was thinking, it seems awfully funny because Sebastian didn't seem like he went to the playground too often. I got to think that Sebastian would have loved to want to swing on those swings, And then you could imagine my shock when I realized they weren't talking about a park or a jungle gym. These people. Oh my God. I can tell you I'm a Christian lady, and I certainly do not swing that way. Just saying. I do know that Katie Proudfoot was really trying to get my attention. The last time we were in court, she wanted to braid her hair. And somehow that was supposed to be a ding against me. I can tell you when I wear my little pigtail braids, I get a lot of calls like, "Hey, baby, how you doing? How you doing? Have you seen me in my braids? I look so cute. I look a lot better than that hot mess express that was ordered by her mom. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. She's a psycho bee. She will always be a psycho bee, and I truly believe she hurt her son. I definitely know that Chris Proudfoot, according to reports, 5 CPS reports, it sounds like he was abusing Sebastian. Sounds like he was abusing Sebastian just 2 months prior to that child disappearing. I'm a love machine. I don't want to do that again. I'm a love machine. Thought I'd throw you a kiss. I'm just saying. All right, I'm having too much fun with you guys. I've already probably gave a few people some scabbed knees, all right? Or, you got, not like they were begging me, or you know what I mean, like I knocked them off their bicycle. I was being rude. Sometimes things don't fall out of my mouth like they should. It's your birthday. It is my birthday. I didn't get to celebrate my birthday because I was on the road going to Charlie Kirk's memorial. I still just can't believe he's dead. I don't think my head has wrapped around everything yet. Like, even the next SAS, I'm trying to go to that American tour, but it is a little pricey with, airfare, and I'm not driving back to Arizona. There's zero possibility of me doing another 32-hour trip. That was spur of the moment. That was a situation that I felt I had to be at. I felt guilty by not being there. Put it like that. So one way or another, I was going to go there, but it's not happening. I would never do that for a case, okay? If we can't get out there in a reasonable time, I'm not doing a 32-hour trip. It wore my body slap out. I have never felt exhaustion. You guys have seen me out in swamps for days looking for people. And I can tell you that I felt so blessed exhausted. Absolutely exhausted. Absolutely exhausted. And I'm still feeling exhausted. Like, I didn't wake up this morning till 8:30. 8:30. When have you guys ever, I have had this channel for almost 5 years, and I don't think there has been a day I woke up at 8:30. I have not even used an alarm clock in the last 5 years, and I can guarantee I have been up between 3:30 and 5:30 every single morning, every single day, working. So it's hard for me just to, now my sleep's off, so God knows what tomorrow's going to look like. But we're back on track, folks. We're back on track. So, anyways, birthday shout out to Frank from BHB. Aw, thank you. Aw, thank you. Yeah, I'm becoming an old bag. I really am. I'm owning it though, you know? I'm like, okay, I'm 46. What next, right? What next? Nobody's going to stop me. I still feel young, right? Oh, and I quit smoking my vape. I don't know if you guys noticed. There hasn't been a vape on the show in almost a month, maybe over a month. 6 weeks, something like that. I'm stepping down to my number 2, my 2 patches. My lips are so peely. You're a fresh brewed brew of coffee. Aw, that's sweet. That's sweet. Careful. I'm like an espresso. I might get you going. Woo! Oh, you guys are sweet. See, this is what I'm talking about. You guys are here every day. Like, I don't really care. Like, everybody's like, oh, your neighbors. Like, my people are here. The people that are here every day those are my people. The people that come here for the stories, this story or that story, and leave right after the story's done, those aren't our people. Those aren't our people. That's not part of our family. They're visitors. We're thankful for them visiting. Sometimes I offend them. I don't mean to. Right? I'm just giving you a shout out. I don't mean to offend you. I'm just going to stand on my platform and do me, you know? Just like I would expect and inspire you to do the same thing for you. Get a platform, talk about, you know, in all fairness, Ryan, with you being so even keel, it might be a great idea for you to have your own channel to talk about some of these things. Because, you know, we never know. Just like with Sebastian Rogers. That's if you're still here. I might have pissed you off and you might have ran off. I don't know. But even with Sebastian Rogers, we did not know I was ignorant when it came to autism. Like, ignorant. But when I finally got it and I started realizing, you know, what was going on, then I started doing action. Because it was very clear to me that something like the vaccines were causing this. It was very apparent to me. And again, came in here completely ignorant with autism, did my due diligence, spoke to hundreds and thousands of people during this time. Hundreds to thousands of people. And people were willing to talk to me. And that is no lie. It was that many. People in here can tell you, because there was hundreds of people in here specifically telling their stories. We learned very quickly what was causing them and started putting action behind it to help bring awareness to it. Now, with the whole trans community and transgender community, a lot of people are painting with a broad brush, you know? And I get why, because people are scared. And when people are scared, they're not going to say, oh, this person or that person. They're just going to categorize everything else. What I would really inspire Ryan to do, which I think would be amazing, is maybe talk about transgender issues. Some of the stuff maybe that you see in the whole situation. Speak up. You know, we're all about, if you see something, say something. And if you see that people are got certain aspects wrong, or maybe they got it part right or in part wrong, this would be a great place where you can excel. This would be a great place where if you disagree with what's going on in your community, that you can express that. And those would be things that we would get a different perspective on, because it's all about perspective. It's Frank's birthday and Melanie's 12-month BHB birthday. Well, happy birthday. I'm not putting the hat on, but I will sing to you. I'll do my Brando. Well, I might change it, but I think I don't know. I don't like sounding good. I like it. Well, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday for Frank. And happy birthday to Melanie. BHB birthday for Melanie. Happy birthday to you. Toot toot. Okay, I really messed that up, but that's okay. That's okay. I've been on the road for 32 hours. Happy birthday to you guys. Happy birthday to my aunts out there, my aunts and uncles. Believe it or not, we've got a lot of September birthdays out there, and so I don't really get to talk to my family very often because I'm always on the road. I'm always working, I'm always into myself, and I'm always with Delilah. So I really don't go anywhere. My circle is about as small as you can imagine, but I do love my family, and I do love my aunts and uncles. And I do appreciate them thinking of me, because I got a card out there for my aunt now that I have not opened because it wasn't a part of this package here. But for the beautiful people that bought me the flowers, I know where the cake comes from, because it comes from Betty fan, because she likes making me fat. And I don't mind getting fat on birthday cake, just to throw that out there. I just thought I'd throw that out there. I don't want to feel like I'm disgusted by it, but you know what I'm going to do. As soon as I get off here, I'm most likely going to eat that, and then I'm going to regret it. Okay? I'm going to get it, and I'm going to... I'll be like Peter Griffin. Homer Simpson. I'm going to be Homer. I'm going to be Homer. Okay. All right, enough of me, guys. Go make it a great evening. We will be back. I don't know what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. I really don't. I won't know until I get up at 3:30 in the morning and look at what's going on in the news. But I can tell you right now, I'm sick and tired of the violence from the left. I hope the left starts condemning it. I'm sick of putting politics on my show. Usually this is a true crime channel. The only time we talk about politics is when we need to change laws to make sure our SOBs are put behind bars as long as absolute possible. But now this whole thing with Charlie Kirk has picked off a scab, because Charlie Kirk is one of the most prolific murderers in our, murdered people in our society, in our generation. So for me not to cover this case would be absolutely ludicrous on a true crime channel, but it also brings out, the political side in me. I was a political activist and advocate long before I came to true crime. As a matter of fact, the reason why, and I tell you guys over and over again, the reason why I opened true crime was to afford my politics. Everything I've done for my community and country, I've done free of charge for them from the money that I make off this channel. And I'm going to continue to do that. As a matter of fact, I got some interesting stuff. Well, thank you. That's good news. I knew he was dead. I knew he was dead. I knew it. I'm glad I stuck to my convictions on that case. You guys heard it here first. I told you he was unalived in the woods not far from his children. And they were going on a manhunt, and I kept saying, I think they're wrong, but I kept giving their information, Sheriff Morrison's information out that he wanted people to know, the areas that they're searching, and I kept saying, nope. There's no way. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And so I finally had come to acceptance, the acceptance part of it, and realizing that I must have I was wrong. I was wrong. He's obviously on the run in law enforcement. I was just wrong. I analyzed this case wrong. And then lo and behold, there it goes. We were right. Again, we were right. We've been right about more cases than we've been wrong about. So I definitely trust my gut instinct on these cases. I trust my ability to look at multiple different scenarios and be able to derive the information I need to derive and positively apply those to the case. We keep doing it over and over again. So the ones that are solved, right? There's like all of my opinions about Summer Wells. Those will never be realized until the case is solved. And then that's the only time we learn that we were accurate. Just like Colin Knapp, Kathleen Moore, when he dumped her body outside of her house, his house. We knew where she was. We couldn't get to her. We were talking to the neighbors and said they were right there. We even went out there with our videos and put it on Twitter and said, this is his house. She's got to be here. And that went out to thousands of people. And then finally a neighbor took his dog back there and found her. And the case was then over. We were actually heading out for our first tour on Summer Wells when they found Kathleen Moore's body. And they found it in the exact spot we said they would find it. Again, that was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. But we've been right about a lot more than we've been wrong about. I can tell you that. And no matter what, the hate channels are always they're never going to give us credit because they hate us. They hate the fact that we are accurate more than they are. Anyways, God bless each and every one of you. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Until next time, please be safe, but more importantly, kind to one another. God bless.